The Awakening, a journey beyond mind and time. Introduction. Are you weary of the constant churn of anxieties, the relentless pursuit of happiness that always seems just out of reach? Does the present moment feel like a fleeting shadow, overshadowed by the weight of the past and the anxieties of the future? If so, you're not alone. Humanity, for millennia, has been trapped in a cycle of suffering, driven by a fundamental misunderstanding of who we truly are. But there is a path to liberation, a way to break free from the chains of the mind and experience the profound peace and joy that lies at the heart of our being. This audiobook is your guide to a revolutionary awakening, a journey into the depths of your own consciousness. It unveils the power of presence, the ability to fully embrace the present moment and transcend the illusions that bind us to a life of suffering. This knowledge is not readily available. For centuries it has been hidden, kept from the masses by forces that seek to maintain control and keep us from realizing our true potential. But by understanding and embodying these teachings, you can unlock your full power, experience a life of abundance and joy, and connect with the boundless energy that flows through all of creation. The channel's mission is to illuminate this hidden wisdom, making it accessible and empowering for everyone. We believe this knowledge is essential for every individual seeking to break free from suffering and embrace their true nature. We encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to support our mission and receive more transformative content. You can also choose to contribute financially by clicking the link in the description or texting "I love yoga," one word, no spaces, to 53555. Your support, no matter how small, is deeply appreciated and will help us create more life-changing content. Chapter 1. The Shadow of the Mind, Breaking Free from the Ego's Grip. Title: Unveiling the False Self, the Illusion of Separation. Key takeaway: the key to liberation lies in recognizing that you are not your mind. The mind, a powerful tool for navigating the world, can become a cage, imprisoning us in the past and future, leaving the present moment ignored. Summary: imagine a world where the only reality is the present moment, a world devoid of past regrets and future anxieties. In this state of pure awareness, we would experience a deep sense of peace, a connection to the flow of life, and a liberation from the endless cycle of wanting and needing. But instead, we find ourselves trapped in a cycle of suffering, driven by a false sense of self, the ego. This phantom self, formed through identification with our thoughts and emotions, constantly seeks validation and fulfillment in external things, leaving us perpetually feeling empty and disconnected. The ego's grip is perpetuated by the relentless chatter of the mind, a continuous loop of thoughts, memories, and projections. This mental noise obscures our true nature, causing us to perceive ourselves as isolated fragments in an indifferent universe. The illusion of separation breeds fear, insecurity, and an insatiable desire for something more, something that seems forever out of reach. To break free from this mental prison, we must learn to become conscious observers of our own minds. By watching our thoughts and emotions without judgment, we can create a space of awareness, a witnessing presence that allows us to disidentify from the mind's relentless chatter. This practice, akin to recognizing that we are not the incessant voice in our heads, but rather the silent observer of it, is the first step towards reclaiming our true selves. As we cultivate this awareness, we begin to withdraw from the mind's control, opening ourselves to a realm of stillness and peace that lies beyond the mental noise. Practical application: become a conscious observer. Pay attention to the voice in your head, noticing the constant stream of thoughts, especially those that are negative, worrisome, or judgmental. Observe the emotions that accompany these thoughts, recognizing their physical manifestations in your body. Create moments of stillness. Consciously shift your attention from the mind's activity to the present moment. Focus on the sensations of your breath, the sounds around you, or the feeling of your body. These small moments of stillness will begin to break the grip of compulsive thinking. Embrace the now. Treat routine activities as opportunities to cultivate presence. Give your full attention to each step you take, each task you complete. Experience the richness of the present moment without seeking to escape it. Chapter 2: The Shadow Within. Understanding the Pain Body title, The Dark Companion, Confronting the Emotional Pain Body Key. Takeaway: every emotional pain we experience leaves behind a residue of negativity that can accumulate over time, creating a pain body, an energy field of trapped emotions. To break free from suffering, we must confront this shadowy aspect of ourselves. Summary: imagine a dark, invisible companion, always lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce whenever you're feeling vulnerable. This is the pain body, an insidious energy field formed from accumulated emotional pain, past hurts, disappointments, traumas, and the collective unconscious suffering of humanity. The pain body thrives on negativity. It feeds on anger, resentment, fear, grief, and all forms of emotional distress. It seeks to control our thoughts, emotions, and actions, driving us towards self-destruction and perpetuating the cycle of suffering. The pain body's greatest weapon is our unconscious identification with it. It thrives on our inability to acknowledge and accept our pain. We may try to suppress it, avoid it, or lash out in anger, but these attempts only serve to strengthen its grip. To free ourselves from the pain body's hold, we must confront it with the light of consciousness. This involves observing the pain body's energy without judgment, acknowledging its presence without identifying with it. As we learn to watch the pain body's rise and fall without being consumed by it, we withdraw our energy from it, allowing it to dissipate. Practical application: become aware of your inner state. Pay attention to any signs of unhappiness, whether it's irritation, impatience, a somber mood, a desire to hurt, anger, rage, depression, or a need for drama in your relationships. Observe the pain body. When you recognize the pain body's presence, acknowledge its energy without judging it. Don't get caught up in thinking about it. Focus on the feeling itself. Embrace the watcher. Remember that you are not the pain body. There is a deeper, more powerful aspect of yourself, the observer, the watcher, that can remain present even in the midst of intense pain. Chapter 3: The Timelessness of Now, Breaking Free from the Illusion of Time title, The Present Moment, the Gateway to Liberation Key. Takeaway: the greatest barrier to inner peace and enlightenment is our obsession with time, dwelling on the past and clinging to the future. The key to liberation is to fully embrace the present moment, recognizing that it is the only reality. Summary: our minds are constantly pulling us away from the present moment, dragging us into the past through memories and regrets, or projecting us into the future through hopes and fears. The past with its joys and sorrows shapes our identity. The future with its promises and anxieties becomes the source of our longing and our discontent. But the truth is that the past is gone, the future is yet to come, and only the present moment truly exists. By becoming fully present, we break free from the shackles of time. We cease to derive our sense of self from the past and our fulfillment from the future. We recognize that the now is the only point of access to the eternal, unchanging essence of our being. The now is not merely a fleeting moment, but the infinite field of existence within which our lives unfold. By embracing it, we transcend the limitations of the mind, accessing a state of stillness and joy that is beyond time and form. Practical application: recognize the illusion of time. Observe your mind's tendency to dwell on the past or project into the future. Recognize that these mental constructions are not the reality of this moment. Embrace the present. Focus your attention on the sensations of your body, the sounds around you, the taste of your food. Experience the richness of the present moment without the distraction of past or future. Find the life underneath your life situation. When you find yourself overwhelmed by problems or anxieties, shift your attention from the mental chaos to the simple yet profound experience of being alive in this moment. Chapter 4: The Inner Body, a Gateway to the Unmanifested title, the temple within, inhabiting the body to connect with the source. Key takeaway: the physical body is not our true nature, but rather a temporary vessel. By cultivating awareness of the inner body, the energy field that animates our physical form, we can transcend the illusion of separation and reconnect with the source of all existence. Summary: imagine a realm beyond the physical, a place of boundless energy and stillness, where time has no meaning and the limitations of the mind vanish. This is the unmanifested, the source from which all things emanate, the eternal and unchanging essence of being. To reach this realm, we must go beyond our identification with the physical body and explore the inner body, the invisible energy field that gives life to our physical form. By focusing our attention inward, we can feel this energy field, a vibrant force pulsating through every cell, every organ, every part of our being. This practice, akin to listening to the silent symphony of our being, is a profound journey into the depths of our own consciousness. As we cultivate this awareness, we begin to reconnect with the unmanifested, the source that flows through all of creation. We realize that we are not merely a physical body, but rather an expression of this boundless energy, a vessel for the divine light that shines through us. Practical application: feel the inner body. Take a few moments to close your eyes and focus on the feeling of your body from within. Feel the energy field that animates your hands, your feet, your chest, your abdomen. Embrace the stillness. As you feel the inner body, allow your mind to quiet, releasing any mental commentary or judgment. Experience the stillness, the peace that lies beneath the surface. Connect with the breath. If you find it difficult to focus on the inner body, begin by paying attention to your breath. Feel the air flowing in and out, the rise and fall of your abdomen. The breath is a natural bridge to the inner body. Chapter 5: Beyond Happiness and Unhappiness, Embracing the Peace of Being. Title: The Stillness Within, Transcending the Duality of Pleasure and Pain. Key takeaway: true peace lies beyond the mind's constant seeking of happiness and the avoidance of pain. By embracing the present moment and surrendering to the flow of life, we can experience a deep inner stillness that transcends the duality of pleasure and pain. Summary: imagine a world where happiness and unhappiness are no longer seen as separate, where the constant struggle for pleasure and the avoidance of pain cease. In this realm of unconditional acceptance, we discover a deeper truth, a profound peace that resides within us, independent of external conditions. This is the peace of being, the stillness that lies beneath the surface of our ever-changing emotions. The mind, bound by its inherent duality, seeks to control our experience, labeling things as good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant. This constant judgment creates a cycle of seeking and avoiding, leaving us perpetually chasing after a happiness that is always just out of reach. But true peace transcends this duality. It is not a fleeting emotion, but a profound state of being, a deep sense of interconnectedness with all of creation. When we surrender to the present moment, we step out of the mind's relentless judgment. We allow things to be as they are without resistance. This act of acceptance creates a space of stillness, a liberation from the constant striving and grasping that fuels our suffering. The peace of being is not the absence of feeling, but a profound depth that encompasses all emotions. It is the quiet strength that allows us to witness our emotions without being consumed by them. We can experience sadness, anger, or fear, but we are no longer defined by these emotions. We are the observer, the silent space in which these feelings arise and pass away. Practical application: embrace the isness of things. When confronted with a situation that seems unpleasant or challenging, shift your focus from judgment to acceptance. Allow the experience to be without resistance, without trying to change it or escape from it. Look for the higher good. When faced with hardship or loss, remember that every experience, even those that seem painful, holds a profound lesson. See if you can find the deeper meaning, the hidden wisdom within the experience. Cultivate gratitude. Make a conscious effort to appreciate the simple things in life. Focus on the beauty around you, the warmth of the sun, the kindness of others. Gratitude shifts your attention from lack to abundance, from suffering to joy. Chapter 6. The Power of Surrender, Letting Go of Resistance. Title: The Art of Letting Go, Surrendering to the Flow of Life. Key takeaway: surrender is not passive resignation, but a powerful act of inner freedom. It is the act of relinquishing resistance to the present moment, aligning our will with the flow of life, and experiencing a profound transformation of our consciousness. Summary: imagine a river flowing effortlessly through its course, carrying with it the debris of the past and the possibilities of the future. This is the flow of life. We are all part of this river, constantly changing, constantly moving. But instead of surrendering to this natural rhythm, we often resist it, clinging to the past, fearing the future, and struggling against the current. This resistance is the source of our suffering. Surrender is the act of letting go, of aligning our will with the flow of life. It is the acceptance of the present moment without judgment, without trying to change it or escape from it. This act of surrender, while seemingly simple, is a profound act of inner liberation. Surrender doesn't mean we become passive or apathetic. It means we become more conscious, more aware of our true nature, and more attuned to the guiding intelligence that flows through all of creation. It enables us to see clearly what needs to be done, to take action from a place of inner peace, and to experience a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. Practical application: acknowledge resistance. Pay attention to any inner resistance that arises when things don't go according to plan. Observe your mind's tendency to judge, to complain, or to dwell on past grievances. Embrace the now. When you recognize resistance, shift your focus to the present moment. Accept the isness of this instant without trying to change it or escape from it. Take action from a place of peace. Once you've surrendered to the present moment, see if you can take action from a place of clarity and intention. Observe how your actions become more effective and less driven by fear or anxiety. Chapter 7. The Alchemy of Suffering, Transforming Pain into Peace. Title: The Crucible of Transformation, Finding Enlightenment in the Face of Suffering. Key takeaway: suffering, while unavoidable in this realm of duality, can become a powerful catalyst for transformation. By surrendering to our pain, confronting it with the light of consciousness, and allowing it to guide us into the present moment, we can experience a profound inner awakening. Summary: imagine a crucible, a vessel of fire that melts away impurities and transforms base metals into gold. Suffering, while often seen as something to be avoided, can become this crucible of transformation in our own lives. It can serve as a catalyst for awakening, forcing us to confront the illusions of the ego and experience the deeper truth of our being. When we resist suffering, we perpetuate it, keeping it alive through our resistance, judgment, and attempts to escape. But when we embrace it, fully acknowledging its presence without judgment, we create a space for transformation. This act of surrender, of allowing the pain to be, is the first step towards its transmutation. As we hold our pain in the light of consciousness, we begin to see it for what it is, a temporary expression of our own conditioning, not our true nature. We realize that we are not our pain, but rather the observer of it. This realization creates a space for healing, allowing the energy of the pain body to dissipate. As we surrender to the pain, we transcend it, experiencing a profound sense of peace and an awakening to the deeper reality of our being. Practical application: embrace your pain. When you experience pain, resist the urge to suppress or avoid it. Instead, acknowledge it. Feel it fully without judgment. Be the watcher. Remember that you are not your pain. There is a deeper aspect of yourself, the witness, the observer, that can remain present even in the midst of suffering. Find the light within. As you confront your pain, hold the knowing that you are not defined by it. Trust in the inner strength that lies within, the light of your own consciousness that can illuminate even the darkest of places. Chapter 8. The Alchemy of Relationships, From Ego-Driven to Love-Inspired. Title: The Dance of Two Souls, Finding Love Beyond the Mind's Games. Key takeaway: relationships, often a source of joy and fulfillment, can also become a crucible of suffering. By transcending egoic patterns, surrendering to the present moment, and cultivating a deep sense of presence, we can transform our relationships from ego-driven to love-inspired. Summary: imagine a relationship where love flows freely, unhindered by the mind's games of control, manipulation, and fear. This is the potential of every relationship, but it is often obscured by the ego's need for validation, control, and the illusion of separateness. When we are identified with the ego, our relationships tend to become a reflection of our inner turmoil. We seek to control others, to fulfill our own needs, or to escape from our own pain. This leads to conflict, resentment, and a constant cycle of seeking and avoiding. To transform our relationships from ego-driven to love-inspired, we must cultivate a deeper level of consciousness. This involves recognizing our own egoic patterns, surrendering to the present moment, and cultivating a deep sense of presence. When we are truly present, we become less reactive, less driven by fear and the need to defend our ego. We can see others clearly, acknowledging their vulnerabilities without judgment. We begin to experience the truth of interconnectedness, the realization that we are all part of a single flow of energy. This awareness is the foundation of true love, the love that flows freely from the depths of our being, beyond the mind's limitations. Practical application: observe your ego patterns. Pay attention to your reactions in your relationships. Notice when you feel the need to control, manipulate, or defend your sense of self. Embrace the now. Cultivate presence in your relationships. Focus on being fully present with your partner, listening with your whole heart, and expressing your feelings with authenticity. Forgive and let go. Practice forgiveness in your relationships, relinquishing the need to hold on to grievances or to seek retribution. Embrace the truth that everyone is doing the best they can, given their level of consciousness. Chapter 9: The End of the World, Embracing the Death of the Ego. Title: The Rebirth of Consciousness, Awakening Beyond the Illusion of Death. Key takeaway: the end of the world as we know it is not a cataclysmic event, but an inner transformation. It is the death of the ego, the illusion of separation, and the awakening of our true nature, the eternal and indestructible essence of our being. Summary: imagine a world where death is no longer seen as the end, but as a transition, a portal into a deeper reality. This is the truth of our being. We are not bound by the limitations of the physical form, but rather expressions of a boundless and eternal energy. The fear of death is a product of the ego, the illusion of separation that tells us we are merely physical beings, destined to perish. But when we surrender to the present moment, when we become aware of the deeper reality of our being, the fear of death dissolves. We realize that we are not our physical bodies, but rather the consciousness that animates them, the energy that flows through all of creation. This awakening is the end of the world, not as a literal destruction, but as a transformation of our consciousness. It is the death of the ego, the relinquishing of our attachment to the illusion of separation. In this death, we discover our true nature, the eternal and indestructible essence of our being. Practical application: embrace the impermanence of all things. Acknowledge that everything in the physical realm is in constant flux, constantly changing, constantly dying. This realization is not a cause for fear, but for acceptance. Meditate on death. Take time to contemplate the inevitable nature of physical death. Allow yourself to experience the feelings of fear, sadness, or anxiety that may arise, and then surrender to the deeper reality of your being. Live fully in the now. Embrace the present moment, recognizing its preciousness and its fragility. Live each day as if it were your last, cherishing the beauty and the wonder of existence. Conclusion: you are not a prisoner of your mind, a slave to the ego, or a victim of your past. You are a being of infinite potential, capable of experiencing profound peace, joy, and love. The journey of awakening is a journey inward, a journey to the depths of your own being. Embrace the now, cultivate presence, surrender to the flow of life, and you will discover the true meaning of freedom, the true meaning of being alive. We encourage you to continue this journey, to explore these teachings, and to share them with others. Your support for this channel, through liking, sharing, subscribing, and donating, helps us to spread this life-changing wisdom. Donate by clicking the link in the description or texting "I love yoga," one word, no spaces, to 53555. Together, we can illuminate the path to awakening, helping to transform the world, one heart and mind at a time.